Hi all, Katinaza here. Just making an intro video. I appeared on the channel on occasion, so figured I would do this for myself. Pronouns she, they, grey ace, grey arrow, if that matters. Not sure it does, but other people have been including it in their intro, so I figured I would. Um, yeah. Um, so I find drawing to be a good way to de-stress. Admittedly, I'm not doing that for this intro. Mostly because the room's a bit of a mess and don't have the time to clean it. There's enough switching in and out of people without pulling cleaning out for half an hour as well today. Technically half an hour, but regardless, yeah. Um, I do also find working on YouTube stuff to be relatively good and pleasing, although obviously some topics are stressful to discuss, and those are less directly pleasing, but there are still a satisfaction to be gained from discussing those topics, I find. So in a world, I do take a similar form to this one. That is kind of the point of these models. Although as a Fae, I would have wings. Certainly helpful to navigate the inner world because it's difficult to navigate the inner world walking. Yeah, most people there can fly, or yeah, most people there can fly, and of course there are two vertical dimensions essentially. It's not quite that simple. Five-dimensional space doesn't translate well to the English language because the English language only really has three spatial dimensions. So trying to describe a fourth and fifth spatial dimension in English is difficult. But essentially, there are two verticals. Is the closest I can find to describe the fifth dimension. I'm still figuring out my music taste slowly. Mostly so I can avoid going to YouTube for entertainment. Though YouTube does work and keeps you off social media, and but I do find it either too distracting when working or just too dull. Um, yeah, like it's an interesting balance. It's a bad balance essentially in that it's either too distracting or not distracting enough, depending on what else is going on. And yeah, so I do generally get on okay with my headmates. Though I do feel like if you focus too much on healing, which but when it could destabilize us and stop us getting through day-to-day necessities, um, and I understand it could help in the long run. I do have concerns over that opinion, as the closest I have to allies in that are those that say I just slide backwards, which is obviously undesirable. But at the same time, I do genuinely believe that we need to take things slowly and carefully, at the very least. And yeah, some people here do want to rush forwards, essentially, which is dangerous. We've got stuff to get done on a day-to-day basis that rushing forwards could prevent in various ways. Yeah. Um. Okay. I'm discovering why people draw for these. This has been very short. Oh yes, should apologise for the lack of video last week. We were sick in bed. I was hoping to get this video out last week, but yeah, sick in bed. So really couldn't make it last week. And we really wouldn't have had the energy to make one for this week then, if we had made this last week, because last week we were barely had the end for the past week we barely had the energy to get our work done, and that was a necessity. So energy for anything else was basically non-existent. Um, yeah, haven't even fronted that much myself, to be fair. Um, yeah, don't know. Yeah, Um, I'll see. Um, anything else I want to talk about? See, video games. Don't really do video games. They're not my thing. I understand why people like them, but they're not my thing. Reading is okay. I understand why people like it. I don't know. I should try it more. Yeah, find some good books. Probably be a good thing. I don't know. I do quite like to socialize, admittedly, like with outside people, but that's difficult, and yeah, there's not many opportunities to do that, especially not as myself unfiltered and you know um unmasked essentially. There's not really yeah, there's not many spaces where we can even vaguely be openly plural and in person. In fact, there's not any where we are openly plural and are in person. Not really properly. So, that's kind of rubbish, but at the same time, it is what it is, and hopefully we'll find something someday. And in the meantime, well, I can always socialize online or partially masking. Those both do work. Yeah. Anyway, I think that is actually everything at this point. So I will. Well, you'll probably see me around on the channel some more. Don't know. And hopefully we'll get a video out next week and get back to once a week. Catch you all later. Bye. This system signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So catch you all next week.